What's going on YouTube? Today we're taking a look at a really awesome router. This is the NetDuma R3 dual band AX3000 Wi-Fi 6 gaming router. And I know that sounds like a lot. Basically it means this is going to be a really fast router for all of your needs. And it's specifically designed for you gamers, but don't worry if you're not a gamer, if you're that weekend warrior, you're that casual player. This is still a really good router to pick up. So we're going to take a look at all of the features that are built into DumaOS 4. And I got to tell you, there's quite a number of features, and I'm really impressed with DumaOS 4. But before we take a look at the configuration and the setup, I just want to show you what the R3 is all about. So it does have 5 gigabit ports on the back here. You have 4 gigabit LAN ports, 1 gigabit WAN port. You have a USB 3.0 port right on the back here as well. WPS button to set up all your printers and whatnot. And it is wall mountable, so I like when they have the slots on the back so you could just plop this on a wall. Really nice feature. And of course, your RGB lights on the top that are fully customizable beyond your dreams. I like RGB lights, but if you don't, you can go ahead and disable them. And you also have 4 antennas that are able to point in different directions, and they are removable. But it's a nice small profile. It's not a bulky router. It's actually pretty thin. Definitely a nice design, and it really does look like a gaming router. Now inside, it has a 1.5 quad-core processor, 256 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, 256 gigabytes of flash ROM. If you don't know what that means, it means it's capable of handling all of your broadband needs, all of your gaming needs, 4K content, multiple consoles. R3's got your back. And of course, the DumaOS looks really awesome as well. We're going to dive into this OS because I think it's one of the best OSs that I've used on a router. But it is definitely gamer-centric because you do have a geo filter, so you can choose which locations you want to game at. You can choose which opponents you want to play against. So if you're here in the US and you want to keep it local, you can go ahead and do that. Or if you want to play against some people specifically in Australia, specifically in France, anywhere around the world, you can set that geo fence right around it. You also do get speed boost, basically your quality of service. You also have steady ping, so it's going to ensure that your consoles get the best ping available when things get a little rocky. If someone's watching 4K in the room next door, steady ping is going to make sure that your device, your console, definitely gets the best connection. So all of these working together give you the best gaming experience. But let's go ahead and dive into DumaOS together because there's a lot to like about this, including a native ad blocker, and we all know we love to block those ads. Let's dive into it. Logging into the NetDuma R3 router, again, powered by DumaOS 4. This is one of the most graphically pleasing interfaces that I've come across on any router to date. If you're like me and you like more nerd stats than you know what to do with, this is going to give you a lot of nice stats, and again, in a very graphically pleasing way. So as a consumer router, this is a nice choice, whether or not you're that strict, hardcore gamer every day, hours upon hours, or if you're like me, where you just spend a couple hours here or there. This is going to be a nice router for you. So I'm going to go over some of the key features of DumaOS. I'm going to show you how to set up some of the more advanced features for you guys if you are a gamer. Being one of the more advanced gaming routers, what I like about it is you can set the area where you want to find other combatants to play against. I will show you how to do that as well, but let's start off with the startup page. Let's start with this splash screen right here. And as you can tell at a glance, you get access to just about everything that you'd want to know about your network if you're just logging in and just want to make sure everything is working fine. On the left side, you'll see in real time the internet traffic, both upload and download, and you can click on either one respectively to get an idea of what's going on with your network. And if you want to break it down by devices, you'll also be able to see by device what's using the most bandwidth, whether that's uploading or downloading. Perfect if you are gaming. I'll show you how to prioritize different devices, and you can also prioritize different activities. So right now you can see I prioritize video and streaming, but Google's doing something in the background. And just to show you the real-time status, because I think it's pretty cool, I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit of speed test in the background. And right here you can see the download speed, and it's letting me know that it's very high usage on my network. And if I wanted to see which device is actually using all that bandwidth, right here, JabberBeast is taking 430 megabits a second down. So I like this once again. I definitely like seeing what's going on with my activities. And since we did a speed test, you can see that speeds are really fast on this router. So I'm getting 920 megabits down, which is just on par with what I should get from my ISP. And my upload should usually be about the 140 range. So definitely really good. My ping is pretty decent as well, 14 and 81. there is a tool that'll help you with your ping, but let's continue on to the middle of the page here. This might be alarming to some people, especially if you're trying to see and monitor how much gaming your children maybe actually do. You can see right here, 0 seconds today, but it'll let you know how much time you've spent on each one of these categories. So gaming again is 0, work is 0, video 2 hours and 38 minutes so far. And you can see the overall usage for the day. So right now you can see my usage, both upload and download. Or if you just wanted to switch it just to download, or if you just wanted to switch it to upload, you could do that. And you can see the breakdown here per hour, how much upload and download you've actually spent. Now, if you go to network activity, this is where you'll see all your download or upload usage for either right now. So let's click on right now. You can see in real time how much data you're using, and you'll see which devices are actually using that data. So I really like this once again, and you can break it down into categories. So if you wanted to see how much gaming you're doing at the moment, you could switch it there. Or video streaming, you could go ahead and switch it. Spotify is right there. VoIP, you guys get the idea. You get a lot of nice categories that you could switch to. But of course, just clicking on device, this is where you're going to see which device is using the most bandwidth at this specific time. You can switch to hour, so you can see how much you've downloaded, uploaded for the hour. There's the day, and then here's the week. Now, one thing I don't like about DumaOS, now if you're listening, I would like you to fix this because I just received an update. There was just an update to 4.0.219, which actually just added Hybrid VPN support. But once you update to a latest firmware, all of your stats, all of your usage data gets erased. So I would like to see this fixed in another firmware update. There's no reason that my usage data should be erased with a new OS update. But in any event, let's go back to the actual startup page, and I'm show you a little bit more about this router. Now, if you want to do a speed test on the fly, you can do it. Now, the one thing I've noticed about this speed test, let's go back to my test I just did, 920 and 130. I don't know what service this is using for a speed test, but it's always slower than my actual speed test that I do online. So let's just do one in real time, and I'm going to show you. Upload is usually about the same, but when it comes to download, it seems to be a lot slower than just going to fast.com or speedtest.net. So you can see my speed test is definitely a lot slower, and I am using an Ethernet connection. So there's no issues with the Wi-Fi or whatnot. This is a straight up Ethernet gigabit connection, but not to worry. You can just kind of click on advanced if you wanted to change these features. And I'm just going to switch this one. Let's go to 990 and 148. Click on save. Now the reason why you want to do that is because it's going to update this section right here, letting you know if your traffic is high, medium, low, etc., etc. So you want to kind of put your network speed at what it actually is, just so you get an accurate readout of your actual usage on the left side of the screen here. Now here's a ping optimizer. So if we click on optimize my ping, let's kind of see what it's going to do. My ping was about 14. So sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. Now, I don't actually know what it's doing because the ping is generally coming from your connection to your ISP, so I really don't understand what this is doing. So here again, it's telling me my ping is 49. Maybe it's measuring the loaded ping. Let's go ahead and see if it's going to optimize it right here. So it kind of improved it a little bit. Again, I don't know exactly what it's doing behind closed doors, but it claims to have optimized my ping. So hey, I'll take it if you know what I mean. On the top right, this is where you can customize your SSID for your entire network. Now this again is a dual band Wi-Fi router, so you're going to get 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz, and you also get access to a guest network as well. It's not a tri-band router. If you have a boatload of devices connected, IoT devices, computers, laptops, etc., etc., a tri-band router would have been really nice. But that being said, I'll show you how many devices I have. That being said, I do have about, how many do I have right now? 33 devices connected. And this is a really cool map, which I'll get into as well. So with 33 devices connected, I didn't really notice any issue. It's done a really nice job. But I think in this day and age, a tri-band router would have been really nice. But in any event, if you have a small home, if you have a small apartment, this is going to be really good for you in terms of range and of course in terms of that Wi-Fi speed. But taking a look at your device manager, this is something really cool. Again, you can see why I like this interface. It's just really graphically pleasing, easy to see what you want to see when you want to see it. So here's my main router, the NetDuma R3, and you can see all of the devices connected. So right now, these are all my 5 gigahertz connections, all of my 2.4 gigahertz connections, and then I have 21 wired connections. If you already have a hardwire set up in your home and anywhere you are and you're a gamer, this is going to be really awesome. If you're trying to game and you're on Wi-Fi, which generally I prefer to have a hard wire, you want to make sure that your router is close to your gaming system. But in my wired connection, everything is here, and you can click on a device and kind of check the internet usage as well. Of course, you can see the LAN address, the MAC address. You can block the internet very, very quickly. So if you wanted to block some kids or you wanted to block something, you can just click on block internet and it'll do it for you. So I like this interface. I think it's really cool, and you can see offline devices. So I've had 39 devices on and off from time to time. So the interface is really cool. Again, really, really nice. Now I like RGB lights quite personally. I think they look really cool. And if I move myself to the top here, you have a full spectrum that you can do. You can even choose the color by hex input. So really, really awesome. Or if you just want to let the router do its thing, click on rainbow. You get a full spectrum. You can reverse the cycle. You can turn them off. I actually like RGB lights. Now the router is not, it's not in my room. It's not somewhere where I'm going to notice these lights all the time. So for me, I like RGB lights. But the options are here. Once again, tons and tons of options. Different animations as well. So you can change the effect when there's gaming activity. So maybe you want to let people know like, hey, I'm gaming. Don't bother me. You can choose the RGB light to show that. And when it's inactive as well, you can kind of show that everything is just online. So I like RGB lights. I think that's really cool. And this is one of the most customizable RGB settings that I've seen on a router to date. But let's move on to some of the other filters. Now this is going to be your geo filter. And again, this is perfect for those gamers out there that really want to find people in a certain area. If you really want to find maybe the fastest server, this is a great way to do it. And all you have to do is add a device. So if you wanted to add your PS5, Xbox, your PC, whatever your gaming device is, all you'd have to do is add it. So let me just click on next and then choose the game. Let's just click Destiny 2. You'll be able to set your geolocation. So if you only wanted to play against people in the United States, you could do that. If you only wanted to play against people on the Northeast, you could do that. You could also switch it so you could play against people maybe in Africa or Europe. And it's very simple to do. Let's just tap on the map. So I can just tap on the map like that, and it's going to find players for me within the Fortnite game that are right here. You can also add the same device and just choose a different game. So let's choose GTA. So you don't need to just choose one game for, say, your PS5. You can choose all of your games and then choose the geolocation. So again, it's very simple. You can use my location, or you can just click on a map. So here we are in France. Maybe I just want to play against people in France. You could go ahead and do that. So I really like this, guys. And of course, you can change the filter size. So if you wanted to get really down to the nitty-gritty, you can see I don't know where that is. Let's just call that Nice. You could go ahead and just play against people there. Or if you wanted to include a little bit of the UK and a little bit of Spain, you could go ahead and do that. Or if you wanted to blanket the entire world, you could do that as well. So I like this feature, and the couple games that I did play, it actually did work. It might kind of increase your load times a little bit just because it's tricking the game to only finding people within that geolocation. So sometimes it might take a little bit longer, say in the lobby. But other than that, once you're up and running, you're actually golden, you're good to go. And here's a steady ping as well. So it's going to help try and keep things, well, steady when it comes to your ping. And clicking on the heat map, this is going to show you where the fastest servers are for a specific game. So let's go back to Fortnite. Let's go back to Fortnite and choose Fortnite. And it's going to show you the servers and show you which one is the fastest. So right now, Norfolk, US, Virginia, that is giving me the best ping. And you can see here the ping, really cool. And the same goes for, let's go back to France. So if we went to France, click here. If we went to France right there, you're going to see that the game server is just a little bit too high. That ping is definitely high. So the fastest server is going to be right here in Virginia. So I actually really like this once again. And you can choose different games. Take a look at the games that you have here. Let's go to Call of Duty. Same thing, it's going to kind of ping all of those servers and let you know where the fastest ping is. Super cool, guys. I definitely like this idea. That's the ping heat map, so I like seeing that feature as well. Now, when we go to Smart Boost, this is basically like your quality of service setting. and you can choose the activities or you can choose the devices that you want to give priority to. So if we move gaming right up, that's going to be top priority over everything else. You can also add certain devices. So if you wanted to add devices from the list, let's give my Google Home Max a little bit extra priority. You can prioritize your Google Home Max. So again, it kind of gives you that hierarchy of which device is going to get access to the bandwidth once bandwidth gets a little on the slim side. So if you got a lot of activities going on, but you always want to make sure you're able to game, or you always want to make sure that your video conferencing goes through for work, you could go ahead and do that. And I like seeing a quality of service by device or even by activity. And there's a couple different activities here that you can choose from to prioritize. Again, making it perfect for work, perfect for play, perfect for anything in between. And there's work from home, which I already added, but maybe we'll do file sharing. So when I share my files online, that gets a little bit extra prioritized. So I definitely like seeing this. And again, the interface is really cool. The interface is something I actually really like about this router. Now it'd be really cool, I haven't actually looked into it. I will look into it, but it'd be pretty cool, sort of like what Merlin does with ASUS routers. If you could just kind of throw this on and bake it into any old router like your TP-Link, I would definitely take this interface over the TP-Link router or Netgear or even the ASUS any day of the week. I think it's just really cool, very easy to navigate through once again. Now, I've already taken a look at net activity. And here's your device manager, which we've taken a look at already. Now, one of the cool features built into this router definitely should be on every single router that gets sold in 2024 and beyond is an ad blocker. Ad block is the way to do it. Now, this is not going to block YouTube ads. It's not that type of ad blocker, but it's going to block those annoying ads that you might get, like those pop-ups. So if we go to speedtest.net, let me do a little bit of a refresh right here. If you go to speedtest.net on your own, you'll see a whole bunch of ads right here. So you can see that the ad blocker did a nice job of, well, blocking those ads. And if I pause it, let me just pause it for 1 minute. So as you can see, you do have an option to pause ad blocker if you needed to. Let's click on pause for 1 minute, do a little bit of a refresh. You're going to see these ads start to appear. And you can see just how slow it is. So again, ads do slow down your browsing. Definitely really cool. Let me just go back to the interface here. So really cool to see an ad blocker, and you can see how many ads you've blocked and queries in total. And again, you can see it by different time frames. And you can see what was blocked the most. So mostly Amazon's been blocked. That's quite a bit of ads, Amazon. Yes, Amazon has added ads, but this does not block Amazon ads, just to let you guys know. This is going to be the Amazon app on my phones, my tablets, or even when I go to the web and surf Amazon. Again, Plex. So you can kind of see what's been blocking, and if you wanted to unblock something for any specific reason, you just click to add allow list. So I definitely really like this feature, and you can add your own custom ad block list as well. So if you have your lists already, you can add it. Right here, I added my own big list. All you have to do is click on Add List, and I'll leave a link down below for a really cool site that can get you going with some block lists. This is really awesome. Of course, there's an allow list as well, but the ad blocker is something that every router should have. This is one of the nicer looking ad blockers as far as I'm concerned. So I just want to go over a couple more features very, very quickly. I like this interface, and I think it's worth taking time to show you guys. Because whether or not you're a gamer, if you're just looking for a really cool router that would serve your needs in terms of ad blocking, in terms of a nice interface, I would go for the NetDuma. It's definitely a really nice interface. So here's your Wi-Fi. Here's your guest Wi-Fi right there. Once again, your RGB colors. The next feature that was just added, once again, I just got this update, I believe it was yesterday or the day before. This is going to include that hybrid VPN. So basically, you can choose which devices use a VPN and which devices don't. Supports WireGuard, which I'm a huge believer of, and it supports OpenVPN. Now, to set up your VPN, just enter in your credentials for your VPN service. Again, I like Nord. I recommend NordVPN. Click on Next, and you will have to download the configuration file that they provide to you. Once you download the configuration file, just go ahead and open it up in Notepad, and then copy all from your Notepad, and then paste it right in the center box right there. Click on Next and choose which devices you want to access the VPN. So I'm just going to choose, here's JabberBeast, just to kind of show you guys. Here's JabberBeast. Click on Save. So this is perfect if you wanted to ensure that maybe your PlayStation or anything like that always gets access to wherever you need access to. This is a nice way to do it. And you also do have access to WireGuard as well. So let's just go back. And now you see my VPN is active. Really, really cool, guys. I think this is really awesome. So now you can see I have one device connected to the VPN, and you can disable the VPN service just by this toggle switch. So let's just do a little bit of a speed test and see what our speeds are going to be like. Again, usually with OpenVPN, you get a little bit of a slower speed. So I might try out WireGuard just to show you it's a little bit faster. All right, so taking a look at it, OpenVPN is definitely slow. You're not going to do much with 29 megabits down. That's why I always recommend WireGuard. Now, TorGuard is a service I recommend for WireGuard connections. They give you a nice configuration tool that you can get your configuration file for. So let's go ahead and do that together. So all you have to do is click on WireGuard, enter in your username, and if you use code JabberTech, you're going to save 50% off for life for your subscription. And the configuration tool is really cool as well. Very simple, very easy. All I do is switch that to WireGuard, click on Generate Config, and that's basically it. You can go to this text box, click on Copy, go back to the Hybrid VPN, click on Edit VPN. I'm going to click on Change. Then I'm going to switch to WireGuard, and now what I need to do is select all, and then just paste what I just copied from TorGuard's configuration file. Click on Save, and then this is going to save my WireGuard service. Now with Hybrid VPN, you can only have either OpenVPN or WireGuard. Again, WireGuard should give us a lot faster connections, a lot faster download speeds. So 33 was from OpenVPN. Let's do a little bit of a refresh and see what we get on WireGuard. So right away you can see the speed difference. Now again, usually you do not get a one-to-one speed on any VPN router. Usually that's not how it works, but 240 out of 900, better than 33 in my opinion. Let's just show more. So I am in Brooklyn right now. There's my ping. Upload should be about the same. So let's just quit that upload and do one more refresh. So again, if you're looking for a nice VPN service, WireGuard's the way to go. TorGuard's the way to go. JabberTech code's the way to go, saving 50% off. So I'm happy with 240. I'm definitely happy with the 240 when it comes to VPN connections. So let me just go ahead and disable this VPN for the moment because it's not something that I need. Now that's really it when it comes to the settings, guys. Everything else is what you'd expect on a router. So you get access to your LAN settings, your WAN settings, your DHCP server, your UPnP server. You can port forward, you can set static routes, system info. So if you want to see your system info, you could see everything right here. That's it when it comes to the NetDuma R3. If you're that hardcore gamer and you really want to geofence yourself in and play against people in your own hood, this is a great router for you. If you're that weekend warrior, a casual gamer, here or there type of gamer like I am, this is still a really nice router because of that geofencing and because it's going to let you know which server is the fastest for which game you're playing. And even if you're not a gamer, guys, if you're in that small apartment or small house and you just want a really nice router with a lot of nice features, a nice graphical interface, I would not overlook the NetDuma R3. It's actually a really nice router. Now, the only thing I would suggest is maybe a tri-band router in the future. Maybe add a 2.5 gigabit port. Again, that's really more for the more network-y type of person. But at the price range of this router, I think they're giving you a lot of nice features. And I've received 3 updates since I've used this router as well. So they are maintaining this platform. Now, in terms of range and speed, as you saw, let's do one more speed test as we end out this video. On the hardwire, you're going to get some really nice speeds, and if you're close to this router, you're going to get pretty close to these speeds as well. It is a dual band, so it doesn't really go as far as some tri-band routers do. It doesn't really have the range that some other routers do, but if you're in a smaller house or apartment, this is going to be really nice. Or if you have a lot of devices hardwired like I do, and you just have a couple TVs or whatnot that are on Wi-Fi, this is going to be an excellent router as well. It's not mesh capable, which is a little bit too sad, I'm gonna say. If you could mesh this with, say, another one, this would be absolutely awesome. But that's really it, guys. I think it's an excellent router. I like the interface. Everything's super cool. AdBlock. I mean, just take a look at this radar right on the side. How cool is this? Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thumbs up, subscribe, as that helps me out as well. If you like this content, it helps you out. Just kind of click that thumbs up button, and I'll catch you in another video.